Okay, so this is the second part of an interview with Idelie Perez. In terms of your uncle and the notes, in terms of following that and his schizophrenia, tell me a little bit more about what your interest in that is.
Well, I think knowing a lot about your family history and your background is a foundation of learning about yourself and understanding yourself better. And I think when I was told about my father's uncle, it was intriguing to me because I wanted to learn more about my family's background. My grandfather, my father's father, passed away before I was born, so I really didn't get a chance to know so much about his side of the family. And he only had one living brother, who I did get to visit. He was 98. So he really didn't remember too much about his brother, but he passed away. So I think this project and these books is kind of a way of getting to know the family, because he does write about the family in these journals. And it's a way of getting my father, I guess, to link to his family as well. Because even though he knew him, but he didn't know him like on that level. So I think it's a way to, I guess, link the families together.
I know sometimes people have a concern about, since this was in my family, could it happen to me? Does that a thought occur to you too, wanting to kind of understand more about it and maybe have some apprehension about it? You could inherit it or something, or?
Yeah. No, I never thought to myself that this was something that was gonna happen to me necessarily. I'm not saying that it can't happen. I don't want to just write off anything, because anything is possible. But no, it wasn't so much me wanting to know about it because I was kind of nervous if it was gonna affect me in any way. It was just more about getting to learn about him as a person. Yeah.
As a person.
And I think he wasn't given the opportunity in his life to be looked at as an individual, as a human.
Because he had this label.
Yes.
Is that possible? That's why you thought maybe he wasn't looked at.
Yeah.
People dehumanize people with labels, I think.
They really do, and it's sad
Yeah.
because you really don't know what's going on.
Absolutely. I think we carry all my own personal opinions. We all are a little schizophrenic. We're all a little this, we're a little borderline. We're all quote unquote neurotic, and there for the grace of God go I think we all have a little bit of everything in us.
Oh, I definitely agree.
You do agree with
Yes.
that, yeah? I'm glad you agree.
I agree.
And so it makes people human too, because,
Yeah.
and then people used to think that the mentally ill, they're all out there. They were not a part of us, they're not a part of me.
No.
They stand out there, and that really isolated people in general, and specifically people in institutions, and scapegoated them.
Yeah.
So
And it's really sad. I was watching something on PBS, maybe I think last year, about a gentleman who was autistic, and he couldn't speak, and everybody just wrote him off, and they didn't think he was intelligent, And when he got, I think they gave him like a computerized, I don't remember what it was, but he was able to type out all his thoughts, and they got to learn so much about him. He enjoys art, he enjoys, reading, he understands what people say, and, he wants people to understand where he's coming from, and just because he has this, I guess, disability, that doesn't make him any less human than someone who's, quote unquote normal, walking down the street. He enjoys the same things, just
quote
because,
unquote normal, right?
Yeah.
You said put the quotes on
because
normal.
nobody's normal.
That's a very good example, though. That's a very good example.
Yeah,
you just
so
mentioned,
I just think it's something that society needs to learn, and I guess kind of settle into, that just because someone suffers from a mental disability doesn't make that person any less of a person, because deep down inside you really don't know what that person is thinking or even what they're capable of. My mother knew a woman that was blind. She was able to paint, and she understood, depth. And it's like, how do you normally anybody would think, oh, she's blind, how could she understand deaf? But she understood it better than some people who can see.
Yeah, because their senses are so far more
Yeah.
sensitive because they have a disability. That
Exactly.
Yes.
So,
Yeah. So, and then there was something I have on my YouTube about this child, 8 years old, who was going to be diagnosed probably with attention deficit disorder because she moved around a lot. She was having problems with her family, problems with her mother. She wasn't doing well in school. So this person brought the mother and her together, and they were in a room together. So he then brought the mother outside the room, turned on the radio inside the room, left the room with the mother, and he said to the mother, I want you to watch what's going to happen. So all of a sudden, the little girl, she probably, I don't know how old she was, maybe 10 or 12 or something like that, she was about that age, she started to dance. And he said to her, you know, your daughter is not sick, she's a dancer.
that's so nice.
And that's what she did. She went on, she joined a dancing group, and all of a sudden she found comfort in being people that were just like herself. And she said, you know, I needed to move in order to think. I
Yeah.
needed to move in order to think. She might have been brought into some place now in this day and age and given medication or Adderall or something like that for ADD. And now she was the choreographer of Phantoms of the Opera.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, isn't that something?
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's what she became.
That's amazing.
Just talking about stereotypes and how we see people and how we jump to conclusions about who they are and what they will become in terms of optimism and pessimism.
You just never know.
It's that's very nice. I'm glad. I am glad because that's my field. That you're being interested in that. And
Yeah.
going to pursue it with documentary. So if you had one day to spend and you could do anything you want with it, what would you do?
If I had one day to spend and do anything I want with it, I guess as a writer somebody would say writing, but if I had one day to...
You guess what?
You know, because I write,
Yeah.
but automatically
Then you can choose that.
No, but I wouldn't.
Oh.
Somebody would assume that I would want to write because, you know,
yeah.
I'm a writer. But if I had one day to spend, I would want to go to the Louvre and spend all day there because I love art. I was an art major at one point. So I think that if I had one day to spend, that would be my day.
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
I'll take you to my office and show you my etchings.
Oh, really?
Yes, I have some in there.
Okay.
My mother was a painter.
Yeah?
I paint, you know,
That's
not
amazing.
as much as I used to, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I love art.
Yeah. And if you had one person who you could spend the day with,
Oh, I already know. Jean-Michel Basquiat. He's a famous artist from the 80s. I am obsessed with him.
What did he paint?
He I don't even know how to describe it. It was just crazy, well, off the wall things, I guess people wouldn't want to say, but each individual thing that he painted had a meaning behind it. And he was friends with Andy Warhol. They were like best friends, but if you want to watch, there's a documentary on him. It's called The Radiant Child.
The Radiant Child.
Yeah, it's amazing. It talks about his life as an artist and his life outside of being an artist. And
I'll look that up.
yeah, he really was so gifted and so talented, and I don't think he ever really himself understood his talents and the gifts that he possessed. He spent a lot of his life trying to please his father, and he was always looking for that approval from his father, and I think that played a lot into his insecurities as
maybe
an
that
artist.
interfered also with him without he couldn't recognize his skills that he had and his talents he had too.
Yeah.
Because he was looking to the outside rather than looking inside. But do you think that might have been one of the reasons why he didn't recognize his own talents? Or?
I think a little bit, of that, and I think he was very fragile. And to be someone at that level, I think you have to have thick skin to deal with, critics and to deal with life, especially when you're under the microscope. Because at one point he was like the it person. He dated Madonna, you know, and he ran in like these elite circles, and you know, he was amongst like the cool people. And I think,
So something happened.
yeah, I think, you know, you have to have this toughness about you to be in that type of world if you're gonna survive it.
Especially if it's hard to accept criticism. So perhaps
It definitely is, yeah.
Maybe he was very criticized when he was,
I think he was just,
his art.
yeah, a lot of people criticize his art, and he was very critical of himself on top of that, so,
That hurts.
yeah.
Yeah.
But he
So
was
if you're
amazing.
secure within yourself, you don't have to worry too much about other people's criticisms, right?
No, I think
And you
being
seem
very
to have
secure.
a lot of security in yourself. I get it.
I do. Although I think with anything that you set out to do, there's always going to be someone on the road criticize you, or you know, it can be that someone doesn't share the same vision as you. It doesn't necessarily mean that, you know, they dislike what you're doing, but
You
if
have to
you're
tolerate somebody else sharing a different vision and
Exactly.
proceeding with your own. And anyway.
Exactly. I think the best things in life come from, you know, breaking the mold and going above and beyond and being creative and being an individual, because everybody possesses their own form of creativity, and everybody brings something to the table. So I think once you accept what you are capable of as a person creatively, and you are secure in that, then, you know, the opportunities and, you know, the things that you're able to do are endless.
Well, you're a very wise person.
Oh, thank you.
I'm
Thank
learning
you.
that very short space of time. When you're very, very wise, very thoughtful.
Thank you.
And I'm going to try to break my mold whenever I can.
Yeah, I always tell everybody to push yourself.
Yeah, I'm going to try to do that. So thank you so much for listening, audience out there. And this is Mark Sell for the YouTube channel Therapy for the Heart. And it's my pleasure to have Ms. Perez here.
Thank you.
And I hope that you can tune in again. And if you like the channel, press the like button on there, and that would make me very happy. And if you want to become a follower, do so. Get a Gmail account. Make your own YouTube channel on. And it's very easy to do. You don't have to even have any videos. So thanks again for listening. And you also can find this channel. Just put Mark Sell into the YouTube browser, and you'll find me. So thanks a lot, and thank you for.
No, thank you very much. Thank you.
You're welcome. Great.
Hi, my name is Idelie Perez. If you would like to contact me, you can contact me at my email address, which is Idelie, IDELIE .Perez, PEREZ @gmail.com.